Ready? One, two, three, start. I'm glad to be here amidst you today. Punjab University had acquired a prominent place in the intellectual map of India long before independence. Although the university had a fresh start at Chandigarh in 1947 in the wake of partition, it is good that you have been able to keep up the traditions of this premier institution. The success of a university is measured not merely in terms of the number of students enrolled or teachers employed, but in its ceaseless endeavor to attain peaks of excellence and the quality of intellectual leadership that it offers to the young generation. I am happy that you have been able to maintain three ideals of a university, and I congratulate the teachers and students of Punjab University for their achievements. Para, we are living in a dynamic age characterized by speedy and continuous changes, posing ever fresh questions regarding the ideals of university education. A university, true to its very definition, has always stood for universal outlook based on humanitarian reason and tolerance. The success of a university consists in its capacity to produce independent thinkers endowed with strength of character. It is only such great thinkers that have made significant contribution to the enrichment of human thought and progress of making. All through the history of making, we find that societies are always in a process of continuous renewal in which all ideas, institutions, and structures undergo transformation, leaving old grabs and taking up new forms and postures. This process of constant struggle for renewal has been the chief characteristic of the evolution of modern societies. What is essential is that we should contribute our might to this process of renewal, endowed with the strength of character and courage of conviction. The academic community and institutions of higher learning have a big role to play in providing intellectual leadership to society in this unique struggle in the area of thought. Our universities should have the moral courage and intellectual honesty to assume this leadership. In this present day world, universities cannot remain isolated forever from contemporary society and its problems. They must try to reach out to society and help in finding solutions to the ever increasing problems of contemporary life. This active participation of universities in the life of the community will go long way in enriching the quality of life of the community at large. Para, we are passing through a time of severe stresses and strains. Some of the social tensions around us today are thrown up by the very process of our own social development. We are decisively moving away from the rigid traditions of a distant past and are on the threshold of an irreversible trend towards new horizons on the road of modernization. Our industry, agriculture, education, health, all are fast developing. Science and technology are slowly but surely becoming a way of our life. and yet emotionally we are not able to make any decisive break with the past. Our emotional attachments are still conditioned by old traditions. Presumably, it is this conflict in the process of development that is reflected in the current situation with occasional outbursts of fury on matters like regionalism, religion, community, caste, and so on. It is true that languages, religion, ways of life are all parts of our cultural heritage. What is needed is to find solutions to new problems while trying to preserve all that is worthy in our heritage. This process of growth demands that our cultural heritage should also lend itself to continuous renewal, and it is in this renewal that we should look forward to the necessary leadership in our intellectual community. It is this ability to provide intellectual leadership that is expected of our universities. India has made rapid and significant progress in the field of university education since independence. It is a matter of pride for all of us to know that today our scientists, doctors, engineers, and technologists are serving in many parts of the world. Para, this is a welcome development, but it is very distressing at the same time to see a large number of educated youth unemployed. One wonders sometimes whether the growth in education, especially higher level education in our country, is in the right direction and is in step with the absorbing capacity of our economy. The primary objective of learning for earning cannot be ignored in a country like ours. A job oriented education from elementary to the university level has also to be planned well in accordance with the employment outlets likely to be generated by our economic development. The most appropriate education is that which enables the recipient to develop character, strengthen mental faculties, expand intellectual horizons, and enables one to stand on his own feet. Convocations are occasions for happiness and satisfaction for universities, teachers, and students who have reached an important milestone in their lives, but the process of education does not stop with these moments of joy. Every individual keeps learning throughout his life, which benefits society.